Joined by America's Joy Magnet, the best title ever, Sherry Elise, to share more about joyful leadership. First of all, Mike just told me that you are a Syracuse graduate. What year?
I am. Go Orange.
Go Orange. Me too. 2 times. But let's get back to it. You're talking about joyful leadership. What is joyful leadership?
Well, we're really at a time and place where joy is no longer a luxury. It is a necessity in the workplace.
Right.
We know this from all of the people that are leaving their jobs, and we know this really from the mental health challenges that so many of us are going through. And joyful leadership really is about starting from the top, making sure that our leaders, our CEOs, our executives are not only telling their teams and employees to be more joyful, but actually embodying it themselves.
I've had a couple of bosses, none here, who could have taken some of that advice. Now, your first tenet is define your priorities. Now, are there priorities that are more joyful than others, or are all priorities joyful if they're framed the right way?
Well, I think it's a mix of both. Really, what makes priorities joyful are when you are living in alignment with the things that are important to you, to your values, creating boundaries. So really understanding what it is that you enjoy doing, what is important to you, whether it's communication, whether it's serving others, and making sure that the choices that you make at your job, whether it's that job in and of itself, is aligned with what is important to you.
No, it's fascinating to me. And one of the things that just occurred to me as you were speaking is, what if somebody's watching this and they think, yes, I do need to bring a sense of joy, a sense of mindfulness to my job, but I don't know where to start. What are some small steps that people can take today to kind of begin that joyful, that journey down that path?
I mean, I got 1,000,001 tips for you, but the first thing that I would say is really to embrace your creativity at work.
Yes.
So we know from research that when you are more creative, that actually impacts our joy. And so whatever work you're doing, find ways to, gain new perspective on it, collaborate with other people, take risks, open your mind and allow yourself to step out of your comfort zone. And when you ignite that creativity, joy always goes hand in hand with that.
No, it really is. It's such a really great message. And I mean, you covered another tenet of it, which is connect with others. That's kind of hard for people in a leadership kind of thing, because you kind of have to, or at least prevailing wisdom is that you have to have kind of a buffer between you and the rest of your employees. But it doesn't sound like you believe that buffer should exist.
Absolutely. We are at a completely different time and space in the world where leaders, there is a wall between them and their team members. Having that connection, that we know from, again, I'm going to talk about research, but we know that belonging, we are hardwired for that feeling of belonging and community. So making yourself available to your team, having casual conversations, creating team building activities. It really, I'm going to keep using the word necessity, but when you have that openness with your team, they will show up for you more. They will be more committed. They will be more productive, and they'll be more joyful. Now,
one of the things on my very helpful piece of paper here is be mindful with your mind. Seems kind of a runner. It seems kind of a loop there. How does that work? How does one be mindful with their mind?
Well, when we have the awareness that our mind likes to really take us off path because it's trying to protect us. We know this from, history of our biology, that it really is about safety and everything. So when we become aware of the things that our minds do, we can then change the languaging and reframe. So instead of saying, oh, I have to do this at work today, it really is about a simple switch and being able to say, I get to show up today. Yeah. I get to work on this project. I get to see my coworkers.
That's interesting.
It's a way to trick your mind.
No, it is. It's very interesting. And one thing the pandemic kind of has taught us all, I think, is take time for yourself. Really quickly, why is that so important?
We have to find a balance. You need to learn to turn off your emails at the end of the day, to close up shop, and even to take breaks during the day. We are not machines, we're humans. So set an alarm on your phone and take an hourly break. And that can mean just connecting with your breath.
Absolutely. Great advice from a woman with the coolest job title in the world. She's Sherry Elise, America's Joy Magnet. Sherry, thank you so much for joining us today. Your news and